Welcome to today's video. We're going to do more practice in today's video, figuring out the angles of triangles, the angles inside of triangles and the angles outside of triangles. And what I want you to do here is I want you to have a pen and paper ready, because some of these I'm going to get you to pause the video and do by yourself and then play the video and see how you did. So pause the video now, go get a pen and paper if you don't have it already. Okay, hopefully you got the pen and paper. Now, what we're looking at here is 3 isosceles triangles. Now, we learned last Friday, and we learned on Monday again, that isosceles triangles are triangles which have, we learned that isosceles triangles are triangles that have 2 sides that are equal in length. So here we have on the left hand side and the right hand side. You can see these little red lines. This one has a little red line and this one has a little red line. This means that this side is equal in length to this side. So now what I would call the bottom of the triangle is this. Some people call it the base, but I call it the bottom, okay? Bottom or base, doesn't matter. And then here are the 2 equal sides. Now we learned on Friday and on Monday that the 2 angles, this angle here and this angle here, these 2 angles are equal in a isosceles triangle. So first let's look through the other ones, okay? So over here we have the equal side, this is the equal side and this is the equal side. They're both equal in length. And I apologize if you hear some noises in the background. It's the dog giving out that she wants to go for a walk, but I'm going to do this video first. So this is the equal side and this is the equal side. They're both the same length, which means that this is the base. And over here on the right, this is the equal side and this is the equal side. So that means that this is the base. And they're just trying to make things difficult for you by moving the triangles around. They're just trying to see if they can confuse you and catch you out. Now that we figured out the base and we know which sides are equal, now we can look at the angles. So let me just change the color so it's a bit clearer. So here we have A and B, okay, at the bottom of this triangle. And we know that A and B are equal. Okay, they must be the same because it's an isosceles triangle. Now we know up the top that this is 40 degrees and we want to find out what A and B are. So what I do is I write 180 degrees, because if I add all 3 of these together, I get 180. So I write down 180 and I take away the 40. I minus the 40 degrees. That gives me 140 degrees. Now that means that if I added A and B together, I would get 140 degrees. Because if this up here, if the top angle is 40 degrees, then the bottom 2, when they're added together, must be 140. Now, if they are both equal, what that means is we can divide 140 by 2, and that will give us our answer. So 140 divided by 2 is like saying 14 divided by 2. 140 divided by 2 is 70. Okay, which means that A is 70 and B is 70. And that's how I figured that out. Now, what I'd like you to try and do is I'd like you to pause the video and see if you can answer the second question here. And the second question is very similar, just has different numbers to this question we just did. So pause the video now and have a go. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at that, and let's see how you did. So here we know that the top angle is 36 degrees and the angles C and D are the same. They're equal to each other. Again, apologies for the dog giving out. She's annoyed at me. So we take 180 degrees and we take away 36 degrees. And that leaves us with 144 degrees, if I'm correct. Now, that means that if I added C and D together, if I added those two angles together, we don't know what they are yet, but if we added them together, they would give us 144. And we know that C and D are the same size angle. So that means that we divide 144 divided by 2. And that will give us 72 degrees. Now you can use a calculator for that. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way, where you put 144 and you divide it by 2, and 2 into 14 goes 7, and 2 into 4 goes 2. Or some of you might have learned it like this. You might have written 144 divided by 2. 2 into 14 goes 7. 2 into 4 goes 2. Both of those are fine, or you can use a calculator. Let's get rid of this black mark. So now we have a slightly different question on the right. You can see on the right hand side that we don't know the top angle, but we do know the bottom angle. Now you can pause the video now and have a go if you'd like, and see if you can figure out what F and E are. But if you don't want to, if you're not sure, I'm going to go through it now. So pause it if you want, but if not, just keep watching the video. Okay, we figured out that B, the base, is this side of the triangle. Okay, it's the bottom bit there. And we know that 62 degrees is the angle of this corner. And we know that in an isosceles triangle, the bottom two angles are the same, which means that E is 62 degrees. Okay, so if this is 62 degrees, this must also be 62 degrees. So now we want to find out what F is. So what we do is we add 62 and 62 together. That's 62 degrees, 62 degrees. And that gives us 124 degrees. And so we've added those bottom two angles together. And we know that if we add all three together, we get 180 degrees, don't we? So whatever the difference is between 124 and 180, I don't know if you can hear the dog, but she's making mad noises. So whatever the difference is between 180 and 124, that is what F will be. So that's going to be 56. Again, use a calculator. I'm trying my best to do it in my head. So that means that F is equal to 56 degrees. Okay, let's get rid of this and change back to black. And let's have a look at the next question. So this next question is what I want you to do for homework, okay? So again, I will help you with the first one, and then I'll try and get you to do the next two, okay? So in this question, they've tried to make it a little bit difficult because they've changed a few things. So in the first question here, they've put two triangles. They've put two triangles together. They've added them together. Now, if we look at them, okay, see these two, oh, sorry, I keep forgetting to change the settings. If we look at them, we look at this side here, and we look at this side here, they have two red lines. That means that the side with the two red lines here and the side with the two red lines here, they're both the same length, okay? So let me get a different colored pen. So that means that this triangle, the one on the left, is an isosceles triangle, okay? And the base of this isosceles is where I've put the color B. However, we can see, let me see if I can get another nice color. We can see that this one here on the right hand side has one line here and one line here. That means that this triangle, the one on the right, is also an isosceles triangle, and the base is here. If you want to try and figure this out yourself, you can pause it. We're trying to figure out what A and B are. So if you want, you can pause it now and have a go. Okay, so let's have a look and see if we can find out what A is first. Well, if we look here, we see that 50 is at the top of this isosceles triangle. So if I take 180 degrees and I take away 50, I'm left with 130 degrees. And then that means that this angle here and this angle here, they're both equal, they're both the same. So if I take 130 degrees and I divide it by 2, my answer should be 65. That means that this angle here is 65 and this angle here is 65. So that means that A is equal to 65 degrees. Now, let me change the color and we'll try and find out what B is. Now here, B, we know that this is an isosceles triangle as well, and the base is up there on the right, the top right. So if this is 70, this must also be 70, okay? So let's add the two 70s together. I'll just do the sum up here. We add 70 plus 70 degrees, because we're adding this and we're adding this together. 70 plus 70 is 140. And then whatever's left over, when you take away 140 from 180, that will tell us what B is. So 180 degrees minus 140 degrees equals 40 degrees. So B must be 40 degrees. B is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, so I'd like you to try and figure out the rest of these for homework, these two questions for homework, okay? This and this. And you don't have to draw the triangles if you don't want to, but if you do, that's brilliant. It's good practice. But for homework, all I need is the answer C is equal to, and over here you need to write D is equal to such and such and E is equal to such and such. But if you want to draw out the triangles and send me a picture, that would be brilliant. So far, some of you have been doing that, and you're really good at drawing. So that's really good, because in the Leaving Cert we do have to draw shapes. So it's good practice for that. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment, and I'll get back to you. And yep, I hope you have a great day.